Yo, 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 what's going on, everyone?
Hello.
Hey, hey. I'm joined by Ellinor Bergman. We're going to get all into her past, her favorite games, forming Speldosa Interactive and
Yes.
Muri Wildwoods. All that and more on the next Power Hour podcast, episode 134 of the
Streamcast.
Awesome.
Hey. All right. How are you doing, Ellinor? Welcome on to the Streamcast.
I am doing great. That was an awesome intro.
Oh, thank you.
I loved it.
I'm clipping that for perpetuity purposes.
Mhm. You can keep it. A gift from me.
Of course, Happy New Year. I don't know how late in the year it is to wish people Happy New Year, but it's the 12th, and I think we're
Like all
teaching
the way
them.
to February should be fine, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm a nice guy. And I think January is a nice window. You have a whole month, all right? And
Right?
in February, don't wish me Happy New Year. Just get to it. Get to the point. Ask for the
Exactly.
money or whatever you need.
Then it's too late. Then you just say, take that back.
I'm just gonna air it. I'm just gonna ignore it.
Right?
Was happy about it.
Awesome. Great.
I'm honored to have you on the podcast. Please let the people know a little bit about yourself and what you do in the games industry.
Yes, of course. My name's Ellinor. I am 28 years old and I live in a small town called Skövde in the middle of Sweden. It's somewhere, you can find the town somewhere between Gothenburg and Stockholm, basically. So I am the CEO of Speldosa Interactive, as you could probably tell in the title of the video. And that it's a small studio that me and my former but now also current colleagues founded 2 years ago. And we're currently working on our cozy cleaning adventure called Muri Wildwoods. But like my journey didn't start there. I joined the games industry as a community manager like 5 years ago. It's going to be 6 years ago this year. Time flies. And I worked with the different kind of games this past year. Mobile games like Castle Cats and Dungeon Dogs, PC games like Lightyear Frontier, Prison Architect, Locomoto, and my own games featuring the Memory, of course. Yeah, that's the intro.
Nice. Succinct, but also a lot of detail in there. I love that. We're gonna get into all of that. But of course, these podcasts are now live, and we see some people have joined in. Hello, Zoe. How's it going?
Hello.
Motion. Welcome in.
Oh,
Salt fries. Oh, I love salt on my
I
fries.
love your profile picture, Salt Fries. It was so
Let's get that
cute.
back up.
Look at that.
I gotta get him on again. Corrected there. Fantastic. I'm glad that you spoke a little bit about your history, your journey in the gaming scene. But I feel like every gamer has an origin story, just like a superhero. So tell me a little bit about yours, Ellinor. What is your first ever game and console?
Okay, so I think the first one that I owned was a Game Boy Advance, a red one,
Nice.
the one that you flip.
Oh, the SP.
Yeah,
Oh, I love those.
so good. And I think I got it because I was complaining to my parents so much about this trip we were going on. We were gonna go visit my cousins in Norway, which was like 6-7 hours away. And I was grumpy for like a week in advance. And they were like, we can't have this. We can't have this annoying child in the car for 7 hours. So they got me a Game Boy. I had been nagging them about it for a long time. And I got Pokemon Red. So that was my, like, the first game I played. I think that was my own. I had, of course, been playing, like, my cousins had Super Nintendo. So we had been playing Super Mario and Spyro and things like that at their place, but this was my first console, a handheld
Nice.
of all things.
Nothing wrong with that. I feel that that's
Right?
part of a fundamental part of a lot of gamers' lives, especially ones in our kind of age range, millennials, some might say. I definitely remember growing up with a Game Boy Advance SP and like hiding under the covers just to play
Yeah.
and sleep in some more game time where I was supposed to be sleeping, but I
Oh,
had to beat Pokemon Fire Red.
oh, so relatable. What color did you have? Do you remember?
I remember my SP was gold.
Oh, you're the cool one.
And look, childhood me was an idiot because my parents got me a rare limited edition Legend of Zelda Gold SP. And because I didn't grow up playing Zelda games, I had no idea how special or rare it was.
No.
So I am currently on a journey to buy one right now to relive and recapture my childhood, and they are not going for cheap. I'll tell you that much.
all the retro games are super expensive. All the like small games for the consoles as well are also super expensive.
Yeah, a lot of the cartridges. I've seen like Pokemon Leaf Green going for like 70-ish pounds, and I'm like, whoa. No.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I will fork up the cash to buy the SP though, because I realize I think it's a European exclusive. Ooh. I don't think they sold it in America or anything like that. So it was super rare. And I think it got stolen. So I need to buy a new one.
Yeah. I think I have a hot take on the Pokemon games. I think Pokemon Ruby, like the 3rd generation, that was when the games stopped being good. That's my hot take.
Stopped being good?
Yes, they were good before that, and then they. I've tried playing Pokemon. I think it was X or Y on Nintendo 3DS. It was not good. I don't know when they stepped into 3D.
I think Gen 4, I want to say, with Diamond and Pearl, when they went 3D, I think. So when you say that, do you mean Ruby was the last good one, or Ruby was the first bad one? Oh, okay, okay.
Last good one. Okay. It was the best.
Okay.
Yes.
Whew.
Sorry if that was unclear.
Because I'm of a similar opinion. Yeah. So there's the BC and AD of Pokemon, and it's Ruby. It's Gen 3.
But seriously, like look at Arceus, for example. It looks like crap. Sorry for the Nintendo hate, but I wish they were good. I love Pokemon. I have a little Pikachu on my arm.
That's not little at all. That's a great tattoo. What the heck? What? Yeah. You should have started with that. Hey, so my name's Ellinor. Look at this kick-ass tattoo I've got.
I say this with love. The games are shifted after Ruby. Make something good.
Well, you heard it here first. Ellinor is the leader, the face, and the founder of Make Pokemon Games Great Again.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Great, awesome. That's live.
Clip it, make the hashtag. And Pokemon actually celebrates 30 years next month, so what a fitting time.
I'm actually very happy about Fat Pikachu being back. He's adorable.
I'm a big fan of body positive Pikachu being back. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I did not think we'd be off on such a hot take, but I love it. This is what the Streamcast is all about. The truth.
Awesome.
I personally am a big fan of Gen 4 Pokemon Diamond, and I think that's the last great generation of Pokemon. Personally, so yeah, we're kind of there.
Was that one for the DS only, or
yes, DS only?
Yeah, well, DS games are good. I think when 3DS came, it started to kind of spin out of control a little bit.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. I would agree.
I bought the 3DS because I loved the Nintendo DS when I was little. I played so much Super Mario on it and a bunch of Nintendogs, of course, other like small fun games. And then when I got like tax return a few years later when I was older, like 19 or something, I was like, I'm gonna buy a 3DS. I want to relive the memories of the Nintendo DS. And it was just not as good. Just, very meh to me, unfortunately.
I would definitely say that nowadays. Yeah, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet I thought was mid. Zoe asked if you're French. You are.
French? No. Maybe I sound French. I don't know. I have studied French for like 6 years in school. I remember nothing though, but maybe something stuck with me. Who knows?
Comment tu t'appelles?
Oh wait, je m'appelle Ellinor.
Hey, let's go. Yeah,
Yes.
10 à 10. Yeah.
Ah.
I tried to say 10 out of 10. My brother likes Mario. Nice.
Mario is great. I played Mario Odyssey a few years back. So good. I'm on my second playthrough, I think, but I've taken a long break.
Fair enough. I couldn't get into Odyssey for some reason.
No?
Yeah.
So cozy.
We're going to get into this one, so
Mhm.
no answer just yet. But
Mhm.
I think Salt is upset and a bit salty about your take about Pokemon, by the way. Just
No.
not
I'm
a
so
fan
sorry.
of the make Pokemon great again.
Oh,
But
don't do that.
I wanted you to be known for making peaceful, wholesome games with a great community, but instead you will be known
Yes.
as the leader of the Make Pokemon Games Great Again movement, and I think that's great. It's
Yep.
fantastic.
I dug this hole myself, and now I have to sit in it.
Look, that's great. That's what accountability and being an adult is all about.
Yep.
But let's try to get things back on track. You talked about Pokemon Red. You talked about the Game Boy Advance SP from your first game. Tell me about your favorite games. What are your top 5 games?
Okay, so this was like super tough because there are great games that are like favorite games, but then there are games, you know, that you play and put a lot of hours into that necessarily isn't your favorite game, but obviously it's kind of your favorite game. You will understand when I say it.
I know exactly what you
So
mean. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I wrote down Ori and the Blind Forest. It was, I think, the first like PC indie game that I bought. It's a big fave, and it was also a huge inspiration for me to get into like working with games. I think that was the game that made me like, well, maybe I should work with this. This is kind of cool. A more recent one is like Stray. I love cats.
Oh, wow.
But also just that experience was great. I think I played through the whole game in one sitting. It was like 7 or 8 hours or something like that.
Oh, love that.
It was amazing. Big recommend on Stray. Both the Hades games, I'm counting that as one of my top 5 because they're similar. They're almost the same.
I'll
They're
allow it.
awesome. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And then I took one from like when I was younger, Spyro Dawn of the Dragon for Xbox 360. It's like when you play both Spyro and Cinder and you have to cooperate. I think I had like a Swedish dub to it, and there's a famous Swedish magician that did Spyro's voice, which was really cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the final one that I didn't want to add, but I kind of have to have here because I've put way too many hours into it, and it's League of Legends. I play it to this day, started in 2012. Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Isn't it though?
No. How many hours have you put into League of Legends?
I don't know, man. Too many.
Okay.
I also have that like you can get sort of like small achievements that you can flaunt on your profile in a way. And I have a coin where it says how many skins you've bought, and it's way too many. It's an awkward
As long
amount.
as you're having fun, that's the main thing.
True. I've started playing more like teamfight tactics these days, a bit more chill. It's very, very nice.
That would be my one like thought whenever anyone mentions League of Legends. I'm like, very intense. It can kind of be toxic.
Yes.
Yeah. Glad that that's a very strong 5. That's a very strong 5. You mentioned Stray, which is a game that I think has got some of the best marketing in recent memory. What about that game captured your imagination?
I think it was mostly like the cat and also like the word of mouth, kind of. There were so many people saying how great it was. Kept seeing like screenshots everywhere, and I was like, I don't really play a lot of story games. I mostly play like League of Legends or those kinds of games, like multiplayer stuff like Valorant or things like that. And when I play indie games, I usually just play small, cozy games that are more like either management or like puzzles or things like that. Not a lot of like story games. So it was a bit out of what I usually play. But it was a cat, so I was determined to play it. And then I got super hooked on the story and everything, and explored like every part. I think I didn't get all the achievements, but like at least 80% of them.
Nice. Yeah, solid. Okay, and obviously Hades is one that's just taken the world by storm.
Yes.
One of the greatest games of all time, I'd say. Tell me about Hades 2, because that came out late last year, I believe. And there was a lot of strong competition. Obviously, Cleobscur, Ghost of Yote. There was a ton of great games that it had to fight against. Tell me about your experience playing Hades 2.
Yeah, so I actually started when they released early access. So I played into walls a lot because they were like, "Oh, this area is not done."
Oh.
But it was super fun, and then you can just sit and wait for the next update and be very excited about it. It was always fun seeing like new characters being added and things like that. I think it was also so incredibly impressive how they kind of made basically a copy of the first game that is already a huge success. There is so much kind of at stake, like how is the new game gonna go? And they basically made a copy, but they took everything and just made it better. It's crazy how they could like take all the basic design principles from the first game and then kind of make this version that feels like the same, but you also still like get a challenge that feel entirely different. Because like in Hades 1, you have like, I think it's like one main ability. What am I thinking about? I'm trying to remember and explain. Either way, they made stuff more complex,
Right.
kind of, and it really feels like a different experience. For example, you don't dash, but you run instead, kind of. It's not a huge difference, it sounds like, but it really makes the gameplay feel different. And she's Melinwe, who's the main character of Hades 2. She's more of like a mage instead of a fighter, so the weapons are more like casting and things like that. And she also has more like kind of rogue weapons as well. Whilst like Zagreus in the first game has more fighter like swords and bows and things like that. I think it's crazy. They're such a talented team, and it's just a joy to play that game. It's like a game that you play when you're alone one evening. Maybe if you have a partner, they're out doing something else. Grab a glass of wine and then you just play Hades all evening. It's great.
I love that description.
Yes.
And I think they've done something amazing there by giving you more of what made the first game great, but giving you such a different experience. Like when you're describing the main character of 2 versus 1, that's completely different. And I can see why a lot of the mechanics needed to be changed to justify playing this different character, because it wouldn't really work if they just played the same way where it was just a palette swap. So that shows a lot of ingenuity.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's so creative of them as well, because I feel like sometimes as a developer you kind of get stuck in what you're comfortable with. So just changing the whole thing where you, instead of a dash, you have a run, like that will change everything with abilities and everything around it, you know. Even if it's such a small thing, it can sound like such a small thing. I think it's crazy how they can change, because it's harder to change the basics kind of than changing the small add-ons or all the boons, for example. It's
Yeah.
probably a lot easier changing those up than changing up the basic kit, because you have to kind of adjust all the boons and everything to the basic kit, and they know they knew they already had a really strong base kit. Yeah, it was very cool. I was more I did not expect it to be such a fresh experience, kind of. I was expecting it to be more similar, but it was a good surprise, I would say.
Yeah, love stuff like that. And I think something that we have noticed, especially in the last 5-10 years, a lot of these indie developers are making games that are just outright the best games in the market right now. People are going into business for themselves and changing the world for the better. And on that note, I do want to shout out a business that isn't in the gaming scene, but is in headwear, Black Sunrise. And they have hooked us up with 10% off all hats for the remainder of January. You can see I'm wearing one of theirs. They're really great. They're satin lined, so you don't have to worry whether it's the summer or the winter. Your locks, your braids, or your waves won't get mashed up. You don't have to worry at all, and it'll keep your head nice and warm whatever the weather. So use that promo code Satin Streamcasters, all one word, valid until the end of this month. Don't say I don't ever do anything for you. Also, they're Black owned, so I love shouting out other Black businesses and supporting everyone in this ecosystem. And like Black Sunrise, you are also someone who owns their own business and is creating a positive change in the world. So before we get into Speldosa, tell me about your journey, about going from someone who enjoyed these games like Hades and Pokemon before Generation 4 and going into making your own games. What caused that decision? What was the light bulb moment?
So I think I started playing like more real. I don't know. When I was small, I played a lot of like Sims and like movie-based games, like Harry Potter games or things like that. But I got my first own computer when I was like 14 or 15, and that's when I started playing more like online games and actually playing with other people. And I think that kind of started making a difference. It gave games more of a purpose, kind of, because you hung out with friends as well when you played them. And then I think I was like 17 or something when I played Ori and the Blind Forest, and that made a huge mark. That's when I like kind of considered more for real to actually like study games. And then after high school, I took a short break, working for a year. I tried out some like graphic design courses and things like that. And then I was like, maybe I should apply to some universities or something. So I applied to a university here in Skövde. It was game development 2D graphics. So I moved here. I wouldn't have done it without the encouragement of my partner, because I was super shy and super scared. And I was like, oh, it's so far away. He was like, you have to, it's games. I was like, okay, I'll do it. So then we moved here when I was like, I guess 19 or 20 or something. Back in 2017. Started studying game development, super cool, but I also was like, damn, people are so nerdy here, and they are like so good at all the nerd stuff. I'm not that good. Like, I have read a bunch of manga and watched anime, but these people, wow. And they know all the games. So I was a bit stressed, but school went fine. I got great friends, some of which I'm actually working with today, which is cool. But after like 2.5 years, I was like, this is not really for me. Like, we were only doing concept art, and that wasn't really what I wanted to do. I was more into like the graphic design aspect. Like, if I would be studying something today, it would probably be more like user experience or the kind of like UI design stuff. Anyways, so I started applying to jobs when there was like a semester left. of school, and I was like, maybe I'll apply to like community management. So I sent out applications. I handmade one for Mojang because they were hiring for a community manager. They did not reply. I had even made my own skin, like me in Minecraft. So it was a bit sad, but that was fine. Eventually, I got a job. It was like 1 or 2 months after graduation, which was very good, but I had been applying for like more than half a year. It was at a mobile games company here in Skövde. And I started working there in the summer of 2020. It was super fun. It was something that fit me. Had a really good time. That's where I got to know my current colleagues, actually. So we used to build these kind of gacha cat collecting games. For mobile, they were 2D, and you were like unlocking cats, buying cats, sending cats on quests, and things like that. So we worked there for, I worked there for 2.5 years. Some people worked there for longer, some shorter. Wait, 2.5, 3.5, 3 years. I can't count. I worked there for 3 years. But the owners of the studio were like, they had been doing it for 10 years. So they were like, we don't really have the energy to keep going. And we did, all of the workers who got laid off. We were like, we're not done with each other. We want to keep working together. We really enjoy like how wholesome it is and fun that we have in the office, you know. So all of us who were employees, we decided to start our own studio, and that's Speldosa Interactive. So we've been doing that since summer of 2023, and because like fundraising is really tough, we haven't really gotten any like venture capitalist money or a publisher that we've been like that has been a fit yet. So we've been doing contracts to stay afloat. So during this past almost 3 years, we've been doing some work for other studios. I worked for Pyrokid Interactive. As I mentioned earlier, I worked a bit on Prison Architect, mostly on the Prison Architect 2 announcement, which was a bit delayed. I think it's still delayed. And then I worked with Amplifier Game Invest, who was like a VC / publisher of a few different games, a few from Skövde, so Lightyear Frontier and Locomoto is the ones that I worked on. Yeah, and at the same time, we've just been working on building Speldosa, kind of. And that's now we're caught up.
Nice. I love all of that. I think that's very wholesome. First of all, shout out to your partner, because I think your partner should be your biggest fan, and it definitely sounds like they are. So big up to them. I do like the fact that even though something negative happened in terms of like all the developers being laid off, you were all like, our story's not finished, and we like each other. Let's keep making games. Let's do it together. Screw them. We don't need them. And I think that's how people really evolve. Like, yeah, you were brought together by some other motive or some other reason, but you have bonded separate to that. Yeah, let's go. Let's do this. All of that is really positive. So,
yeah, it was really cool. Like we definitely had it was emotional to get laid off, especially all of us, and it was a bit of a bumpy ride as well. So I think we kind of bonded like through that. And at first we were a bit like, oh, are we going to split up? Like, what's going to happen? Should we try and see if at least some of us can get jobs like at the same place? But like Skövde is a small town, and there weren't that many people hiring in 2023. And then some of our friends were super encouraging and like, well, why don't you start your own thing, you know? And it was super fun to see that like everyone wanted to join. It was just a few of us, all of us wanted to do this, and we kind of we have a little, since our story isn't super different, but I think in Skövde, most of the new companies are started like from school. So for us, we are a little bit different here, and we also decided to have like equal shares, all of us. So there's like we all have the same power within the company, which is very cool.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, like it's working well. It's very democratic, very Swedish, I guess, in a way.
I mean, perfect, no? I do think that is it is kind of like the way of the world that you mentioned, having to do contracts and works for other companies to, fund your projects and stuff. And I think that's completely fine. I remember having Andrew Smith on the pod, who is the CEO of Spilt Milk Studios, and he would say how he routinely does contract work for other companies to fund his own games and to fund basically his business. So I think that's something that I'm not as surprised to hear. I think that's quite common, especially if you are completely self-funding your own business. I think that's completely fine. I love that. Maybe I should do that.
It is really cool. I think that you can get so many experiences from it. Like this past year, I think in 2023 I did Paradox until 2024, and then I did Amplifier for like half a year, 7 months, something like that. And after that, I've kind of been doing more smaller contracts because I need to put more time into Speldosa. But that's also opened up for a lot of cool opportunities. So like I think it was in August or September, I stayed a week in another town in Sweden and had like courses for a game development school, which was super cool, and got paid to do that. So much fun. And like I also helped, I think it was in October, October mostly, I helped arrange a event in Sweden, like a game conference. It's not the biggest, but it's I think at least top 3 of the game conference that we have here. So that was also super cool, like getting that experience. Also getting thrown a bunch of weird stuff when you run around during the days, like here you're gonna host the not host, you're gonna plan and make sure everything happens regarding the award show. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll do that. You tell me the day of, but sure, we'll make it work.
Amazing.
There's a plan, but okay, I have no idea what I'm doing. But that was also, it's like you learn so much. You get so much experience that you don't really get if you're staying at one place.
100%. Exactly. You took the words out of my mouth. That was exactly what I was going to say. Like, you must be like so refined in terms of knowledge and being able to think on your feet on the pressure, like that. For example, I can definitely see something like that. And you'd think the bigger they are and the more people that they have working for them, the more organized they'd be. But no. Everyone's lastminute.com. Everyone is. So being able to handle a lot of spontaneous requests like that will really provide a lot of transferable skills that you can utilize in your own business. So it's only for your benefit.
It's also cool just trying out things and seeing what you enjoy doing, kind of.
Exactly.
It's like you can always, when you have your own business, you're kind of free to actually expand it if you want to do more things. Like I've definitely enjoyed freelancing as a community manager. So I don't know if Speldosa is gonna do anything like that in the future. We'll see. But I think there's no negative stuff about it except like it's taking so much time, and especially when you're doing like 2 or 3 jobs at the same time. It can be really draining, and also context switching all the time. Your brain gets mushy, very mushy. But it is fun most of the time.
Yeah, more good than bad.
Yes, definitely.
So with Speldosa, a lot of there is definitely a message that I've seen throughout your website and your games. You want to make positive, wholesome games that almost kind of communicate global preservation preservation. There's a lot of like cleaning. There's a lot of restoration of environments. Is that something that you've always had in your mind at day one? Was that something that kind of formed along the way? Was that your idea? Was that someone else's? Tell me about the positive impact that you're making over there.
Yeah, so I think it didn't really start like that. I think we started off by thinking a lot about like social sustainability more than like environmental sustainability, because we did get laid off. We were like, well, this is normal in the games industry, but it doesn't have to be. So our focus as a company has been more to like we want to create a safe space. So far, we're still very like not financially able to do any like big changes for that, but that's definitely like a future we want to go towards, and being more taking risks in a smart way, not taking risks for taking risks, kind of, and building a very stable foundation, kind of. We've been definitely focusing on that, and we do want to get to the point where we can be sort of like a role model for other companies, being someone that people look up to. We have a studio here in Skövde called Stunlock Studios. They make V Rising, and they also made Battle Right back in the day. And they are definitely that kind of studio. They are currently, if I remember correctly, the fastest growing tech company in Sweden, which is insane. So good. But they're also like a company that gives back so much to the game developer community. At least here in Skövde, they arrange like so many events throughout the year where we can all connect with each other. They give a lot of funding to the game conference that we have here, where we connect a lot with the students. So like to help them find jobs, but also bring investors and other interested parties like to Skövde, because like it's a very small town. I think we're about like 50,000 people who live here, but we have like between 1,000 or 2,000 game devs. So there's a lot of them here and a lot of studios. So that's definitely where like Speldosa wants to go. We want to do good, and help out. So that's kind of our focus, but also surviving, because financially it's still poor.
Yeah.
But we're getting there eventually. But with the whole environmental sustainability, it kind of sort of just fell into our lap in a way, and then we were like, well, why not just like go for it? So it kind of comes from the game concept that we had to begin with. I'm gonna jump into your next question a little bit.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the game we're making currently is Muri Wildwoods. It's a cozy cleaning adventure, and the whole game is about you playing as this little mousefish character. It's called a Muri, like the species. And I'm gonna give you a little secret that is not out yet. The little Muri is called Pelle. And Pelle is a cleaner, and in Muri Wildwoods, you're kind of out on an adventure, and you discover this bird that's covered in this kind of corrupted pollution. And you're like, oh, that's my next adventure, I guess. Let's go. So you follow it to this island, and your job is kind of to clean and restore it, because the ecosystem on the island has been like plagued by this corrupted pollution. And the Muri, like the species, they're kind of trying to restore the world a little bit. They're like the game is very inspired by Nausicaa at this point, kind of, if you've seen that movie. But to begin with, we kind of started with a game that was called Monster Wash. We do have that on our website, but the first concept wasn't even that. The first concept was heavily inspired by the bathhouse scene in Spirited Away. So basically spirits going into the bathhouse and getting cleaned. But we wanted to do it with monsters, and it was more supposed to be some sort of like management game. But as we continued to like explore the concept. It kind of grew a little bit until it became sort of like a mix of Shadow the Colossus and Power Wash Simulator, but cozy. um, and then we worked on that for a little while, and we realized, this is maybe a bit too big because we're not getting any funding. It's 2023. No one is funding games anymore. It was like sort of like a bubble. Everyone was investing in 2020, 2021, 2022, and then it just stopped. Not great timing, but hey. So we were like, okay, let's try something else. And that's when we made Project Shoreline. So we took like the basic mechanic of just cleaning, but we took away the colossal monsters because they were too hard to like make in the time we wanted to be done, kind of. And we had also like, just moved from 2D games to 3D games. So we made Project Shoreline, which was just an isolated little sandbox game where you run around and clean a beach. And after that, we were kind of, let's take a closer step to Monster Wash, not too close. Something we can make whilst we're still doing, contracts. And we can still look for like a publisher who can help us out if we need it. And that's kind of when we started working on Muri Wildwoods. Yeah. And the whole environmental thing, I don't think I answered that really. It just happened. And then we were like, this is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's something that is completely to your benefit, especially when you run your own company. You can make those snap decisions, and there's a lot of like A/B testing that you can do in real time, and you don't have to wait for 4 levels of approval and all this tape. Something works. Yeah, let's do it. So no, that's very cool. And when you said the fish is named Pele, it made me think of another guest that we've had on called Pele from Sweden, who was the art designer for Ultros. So I was like, oh, that's nice little, that's very cool.
It is a very like Swedish kind of like a little bit old school Swedish name, but it's also like a very cute name in Swedish, I would say. And we will probably look to use a lot of those kinds of names. We also actually have an Icelandic dev on the team, so we'll see if there will be any Icelandic names in there as well.
Nice, of course. I'm very glad that you broke that on here, by the way, because you said you hadn't revealed the name. So Streamcast exclusive.
Exclusive reveal. Yeah, a little bit.
That's very cool. I think you should try to portray as much of your heritage as possible, because it's another part of culture. It's like TV or film. I think it should be as genuine as possible, and I think a lot of that stuff helps you stand out and gives gamers something different than everything that's going on. I want that. I want as many different stories and origins and unique heritages. I want to use a different word. It's not coming to me, but like as many different things that are genuine to you and your nation and your heritage and your background as possible. So I love that. And
I think games like that usually make a bigger impression, kind of. I don't know if you've played like Unravel or Bramble. Both of those are very heavily inspired by either Swedish nature for Unravel or Bramble, which is more like Swedish folklore, kind of Swedish scary folklore creatures, which is really cool. We actually have so we're part of a game incubator, so we get cheaper offices, and we get a coach that helps us out a little bit, and we're in a building where we share the floor with I think we're up to 15 other studios. And one of them is actually making a Swedish folklore inspired bed and breakfast management game called Home Sweet Gnome. It's super cute, and it has all of these classic Swedish folklore creatures, even those that are scary, but now they are visitors at this bed and breakfast instead. And it's a very cute hand painted style. I'm very excited to see where that game goes.
Yeah, me too now. That sounds awesome.
Right?
I
It's
love
very,
that.
very like classic. Like the art style is also very similar to like old Swedish point and click games that a lot of like millennials and the Zoomer generation played when they were younger. Which is also like you want to play on the nostalgia, you know.
I think so. I think we've had a lot of like time when it comes to video games. So I think now we can look back and bring that
Yeah.
to the modern era. It's cyclical. Like a lot of things do become cool again, just because
Yeah.
they've gone away for a bit or gone out of the limelight. Um, I do like that the sound of that game. It sounds very cozy,
Yeah, I
and
think it will be.
yeah. And we have also begun a cozy adventure of our own, but it's more in person. It's our Streamcast Club Games Nights. And we will be hosting our 7th. We've done about 6, 7 of these. I can't remember. I've lost count. But the first one of 2026 will be this Thursday over at Zombie Games Cafe in Cricklewood. So make sure you come down 7 p.m. sharp. GMT. We'll be playing some new games. I've got a deck from Dynamic. We'll be playing with this unique Street Fighter deck. We'll be playing Skull, which I think is a French game. And of course, Herd Mentality, the game where you are meant to not think for yourself, but think like everyone else in the room. So I can't wait to bring those over on Thursday, and we've actually got too many signups. So I would hate it if more people signed up at the link on our Eventbrite page. I would hate to have to tell them guys at Zombie, hey guys, you're gonna have to like send some people home because we're packing this place out. But come through. It's been a blast. And you don't have to be a video gamer to come through and enjoy. Like I just shown you, we're going to be playing card games and board games, but there are also video games for your enjoyment. PS2s, an arcade stick, a Switch, a big projector. So there's everything in our safe space. So make sure you come through and have a good time.
That sounds so cozy, though.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about Muri Wildwoods now, but you already covered that in great detail. Um, so what is one thing you are proud of yourself about through your entire journey in the gaming scene?
Oh God. That was a deep question. Oh, one
Sorry.
thing I'm proud of. I think I am proud of like getting stuff done, kind of, and not being afraid of just going for it, kind of. I think I would not have had like as many experiences if I hadn't just said, heck, let's just do it, you know. Because like when we were about to get laid off, I think all of us had started to notice that the company is not doing great. There is some sort of weird mentality going on with all the owners. Maybe we should like do something. We do, because we enjoy working together. So I invited all of like the employees into a Discord server and was like, hey guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but it's weird. Do you guys wanna talk and see if we can bring this up to the owners? Because we were very good friends with them as well. But of course, you're in very different positions when you're just yeah. So we kind of had already created a Discord server, and I'm very happy that I did that, because I think if we hadn't started talking like slightly before we got laid off, I think it was like a month before or something like that.
Oh.
I think we wouldn't have been as ready as we were when it happened, and also we wouldn't maybe have started the studio. Maybe everyone wouldn't have been ready to go for that if we hadn't already kind of connected and shared things with each other, like that we were all on the same page, kind of. And that was also just a thing that I was like, well, I noticed that people are like it's a weird situation, and I noticed that it was happening, and I was like, let's do something about it. And it's been the same thing kind of now that we have had like Speldosa. Oh, there's this thing going on. We don't really have that much time, but we should do it. Let's do it. So I think that kind of go-getter quality that I've kind of developed throughout the years is something I'm proud of, because it's definitely led me to both help other people and like bring people together, but also to me getting a lot of cool experiences. For example, we went to Tokyo Game Show, me and a colleague and a few others from the game incubator that we're part of. And that was basically, we got an email, I think in June, asking us if we wanted to go. I was like, I don't really have the time. So my colleague, we signed him up first. But then I got that teaching gig, and I was like, oh, that's just enough money to cover the ticket. So I went as well, and it was such an awesome experience being in Tokyo and being at Tokyo Game Show. It was such a different game conference, and just being in Tokyo was also just crazy cool to be in. And I also like, that was like the first time I've ever been on a plane for longer than 1 hour, and it kind of helped me get over my fear of flying, because I was like, if I'm gonna die, why am I stressed? Like, I should be chill, right? It should not be a painful experience. And after
You're
that, I haven't been afraid of flying. So I
do want to let you know you're incredibly quotable.
What did it say now?
If I'm gonna die, why should I be stressed? I should be chill, right? 100%. 100%. I'm gonna put on a t-shirt.
Actually, it would make a great t-shirt, especially if you're flying.
Yes, 100%. So, like, early on, there were already signs of you being a leader and the CEO just naturally, because you taking that step in, forming the Discord and getting everyone together, and you saw the writing on the wall. Maybe not the writing on the wall, but you saw something was up. And instead of maybe what a lot of British people do, which I'm going to call them out for, is kind of like burying their heads in the sand and trying to pretend it will go away, instead of looking it in the eye and having that awkward conversation like a true adult. You brought everyone together, and it was clear that everyone kind of felt the same way, or everyone noticed that there was something funny going on. So maybe doing that then, at that moment, was the moment that actually led to everyone being, oh, okay, we're ready to do this, and having that trust in you and being like, yeah, let's do this. You be our fearless leader. Let's go out and into the world and form this company. If this was something that was reactive as opposed to proactive, maybe the feelings aren't as strong. So that's very cool.
Yeah, I think definitely something like that. Like when I was younger, usually my friends would come to my place, so I've always been sort of like a community builder in a way. So it was probably very natural for me to become a community manager as well, even if I didn't really know it then. I didn't even know community management was a thing before I started, like, okay, I want to work in the games industry. I don't want to do the arts because I don't find them fun anymore. What do I do? And then it sort of just became natural, I guess. And I really enjoy taking on projects, probably way too many. If I have a calm weekend, I will make sure it's not calm. Like, we have a super busy week, and then the weekend comes, and I'm like, hey, partner, I want to do something today. Can we do this and this and this and this? Here's the itinerary. So I think yeah, that's like really helped, but it's also a quality that is not great if you're like working too much, because it's really something that can get you into burnout. So I actually have to be a bit careful sometimes, because sometimes I go a little bit too fast. Like the other day, my colleague was like, Ellinor, I don't want to sit in this corner anymore, because we in our office we kind of have a corner that doesn't have windows, and I used to sit there, and then we kind of spun it around a little bit, so he had to sit there for a few months, and he was like, I can't sit here anymore. And I was like, okay, I'll fix it. So like 2 or 3 days later, I just refurnished everything.
Oh, nice.
But I think those things are so much fun, and I like getting stuff done. So if someone says we need this, I would fix it.
Again, yeah, showing that go-getter,
Yes.
can-do attitude of yourself.
Yeah.
Nice. With Muri Wildwoods, what is your goal with that game?
I think like I don't think I have I'm trying to keep like my expectations low, because usually if you keep them low, you're gonna get like, super happy when they get super exceeded. But like I think my biggest goal is just that, making our community happy, and actually getting like a lot of good like reviews and things like that. We really want to make a really good game. That's a big goal for us. We want to make something that people can enjoy and that people will, remember for a long time. And that's definitely been something with Project Shoreline, the free prototype that we released. It's been so much fun just seeing how many people remember that. And like when we were in Tokyo, for example, there was a person, I think he was working for like a localization studio or something like that. And he saw we were carrying like a little standee that I've built of the Muri. And he saw it from afar and he ran up to us and had recognized it. And that was like so insane. Like we're here in Tokyo, over half across the world, and someone recognized our game character. I think that is the biggest thing. Of course, I want the game to go well so that we can like get money to work on a new game and survive for that long. But I think money is not the most important stuff in life. It's more about bringing a very impactful experience to someone else, because like you wouldn't work in games if you wanted money, because
Yeah.
getting a lot of money in games is more like it's the lottery kind of. A lot of the time you have to be at the right place at the right time, and there's also some skill involved with being at the right place at the right time. But like if you're in games, you usually just you want to make games, you want to make experiences for people. You want to pour your all your passion and love and skill into building something cool. So I think our goal with the game is definitely just seeing a lot of people enjoying it, kind of. And we're gonna get to do that very soon. We're gonna release the demo in about a month, a little bit over a month, hopefully. So that's gonna be really cool.
Amazing. That was literally going to be my next and final question. Yeah. What can you tell us about a release window? Obviously, you said the demo's coming out next month-ish. All the best with that. Hopefully, that goes amazingly well.
Yes.
What can you tell us about the final release of Muri Wildwoods?
Yeah, so we're looking at next year, at least. That's what we're hoping. But things can always change. Right now, we are aiming. No, not next year. What am I saying? It's not 2025 anymore. This year, it's 2026. I'm still stuck in 2025, apparently. We're aiming for this year. But if we would get a publisher or get some kind of like project funding, then we would be able to add a bunch of more things to the game, and that would take a bit more time. So it really depends. But if we're in the same situation as we are now this year, yes.
Amazing. So, fingers crossed this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put the link in the live chat right now, and I'll make sure this is in the description if not already. You can wish list Muri Wildwoods on Steam right now. Show your support. Thank you so much, Ellinor, for being such a great guest. How can the people
you.
follow you, keep up to date with your projects, and support you?
Yeah, so you can find all of our like game related stuff at Speldosa Games on all the regular social platforms. If you want to like follow me, I guess it's easiest to find me on LinkedIn, because that's usually where I'm most active these days, like writing about stuff that happens. So if you're interested in following like small indie studios journey, that's where I write about what we do and when we travel and accomplishments, things like that. And you'll just search my name and I will hopefully pop up.
Amazing. And once you are done following Speldosa games and supporting, wishlisting Muri Wildwoods on Steam, make sure you support the Streamcast. If you're watching this live, please give us a thumbs up. That helps us out greatly. And subscribe. I've been doing the stats because I'm a nerd, and about 40 or 30% of you who are watching are not subscribed. First of all, that's great because we're reaching a new audience. Hi, new viewers. Hey, subscribe, join the greatest community in the world. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, Streamcast_. We're just Streamcast on Blue Sky. And of course, we've got a ton of other stuff going on. Like we do have our events going on. So please check us out on Eventbrite as well. This episode will go out on Spotify and wherever else you get your podcast in about 24 to 48 hours. So if you prefer Apple, if you prefer Spotify or Castbox, you can check this episode out in full there. And why don't you leave a comment if you have any more questions that you want Ellinor to answer? We might have to get her back on because this has been such a fun episode.
Oh, that's all thanks to you for being such a great host.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Clip that, everyone.
No, I've been clipped too many times this hour. Way too many. Uninstall your OBS. Right now.
No, that's just my streamer senses just taking over. Clip that.
Taking 10 damage every time you say that.
Yeah. The Streamcast will be back before long because our next episode will be in 4 weeks' time. Episode 135 with Gabby in all her gaming glory. We've had her on a couple of times. She has featured in our top 5 episodes of 2025. So we're more than delighted to have her back on. It will be the 9th of February, 7:30 p.m. GMT. And we'll be talking about our favorite co-op games. So why don't you get some lined up for that stream and let us know what your favorite co-op games are. But you have 4 weeks. So check this episode out and check all the other ones out. We've got like 130 on. Until the 9th of February, please take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Stay safe. Keep on gaming. We'll see you on the next Streamcast.